Hello everyone. Hi, my name is Kate. I'm a hypnotherapist and we are talking today about anxiety and headaches, or headaches and anxiety, because both of them can cause each other, right? So first of all, before we start, you need to understand that this video is not a medical advice. You need to really consult your family doctor or your general practitioner, right, to see if you have any health issues, any injury, right, that cause headaches. We are talking here about psychological causes and roots of anxiety and its symptom, headache, or headache that cause anxiety. Right, so according to the research, there are two interesting facts: is that women suffer more often from headaches than men. And also, according to the research, the more the physical work you do, the less headaches you're going to have. The more intellectual work you do, the more headaches you're going to have. Also, just the research, and very, very understandable, because if you are working out a lot, whether it's at your job, right, you may be tired at the end of the day, but you can be exhausted, you can be even depressed or sad or upset, but there is a small chance you're going to have headaches because the tension releases with the physical work, right? However, if your job is like, an accountant, manager, analytic, trader, whatever, you engage a lot of thinking, analytical thinking, right? Which can cause a lot of tension as well, because you're more stressed out than if people are working on a physical job. So yeah, this is just the way it is. Also, there are lots of types of headaches, like numerous types, 200, I think, types of headaches, starting from like a small tension that lasts for 5 minutes and ending up in like a 1 week, cluster headaches that you really need like medical help, and no painkillers can release or ease the pain, right? So too much painkillers can even worsen the symptoms of the headache. Even too much of the medication from anxiety can worsen, the anxiety. And it's very, very logical. If the reason wasn't addressed, right? If the stress wasn't, resolved, that caused anxiety, for example, or the trauma, right? Then, the more you shut it down, the more it screams, the more it starts to come out in different symptoms. And sometimes if you shut down the anxiety symptoms, the headache can worsen, right? There are so many, the big physical reason for the headaches is the osteochondrosis, right? So it can make you be sensitive to weather, so you were not born sensitive to weather. You were not born having headaches when you have period, right? No, it's just that your physical body is in the condition, right, that made you be sensitive, right? That caused you to be sensitive to weather, to alcohol, to period, right? So anything, premenstrual syndrome. Also, there is a big cause and psychological reason for the headaches is the belief that you have about the symptom. So let's take a girl who just had her period started and her mom is talking to her, oh, you're going to have anxiety, you're going to have cravings, you're going to have cramps, you're going to have headaches. It was horrible for me. She's telling that to her daughter, and her daughter accepts it as a reality. Her mind and your mind does not understand imagination from the reality. It accepts everything as it is. So if you're telling your daughter, or if you heard from your mom, right, saying that, oh, the period is like, your menstrual period is going to be horrible, it's a lot of pain, it's a lot of emotional eating, skin breakouts, acne, like, it's going to happen. There is a big chance it's going to happen. So be careful of what you say to daughters, and if you have that belief formed from your aunties, grandmothers, mothers, right, you have to work on that belief, because this is not true. Not everyone is having symptom, and the more we form the belief, the more symptoms we have, right? So the symptoms of the headaches that are caused by the anxiety, right, are, you can be like, you have, of course, pain in different parts of your body or of your head, right? Because, and it's not your brain, right? For those who know, great. For those who don't know, a brain doesn't have pain receptors. It's all the vessels, muscles, fascia, right? All the tissues around, in your head, right? So that's what causes the headache. So if your headache is caused by anxiety, or the anxiety is caused by headache, right, you will have these symptoms like inability to make decisions, right? So you kind of like, the headache is so strong and you need to make some decisions, sometimes very serious decisions in your life. You cannot, because the pain is taken away, distracts you from thinking logically, right? Brain fog as well can be a huge symptom, right, of the headache. You can be tired, fatigue can be for a couple of hours, or can be for days and weeks. Because when you have pain, your body needs to recover. That's why you are tired, because as soon as you have a headache, your body will ask you, okay, I want to focus on that pain to help, so I'm going to go sleep, right? So lack of clarity, right? You don't know what to do, right? You cannot assess the situation, very logically and clearly. You can be avoidant, like you can avoid, people. You can avoid your kids, your partners, people at work, because you just don't want to hurt them. Because a lot of times you can have anger outbursts if you have headaches, right? Very understandable. Any physical pain that you cannot overcome can cause anger, because you just don't know what to do. The confusion, the frustration can cause that, right? Catastrophizing. So a lot of headaches can cause you these intrusive thoughts and catastrophizing about what's going to happen, what it is in my head. Maybe it's a cancer, maybe it's a tumor, maybe it's like, any health condition that is very permanent, right? And sometimes very scary. So you can have that as well. So you can also have like random headaches that are not caused by any psychological, reason or physical, but it can be like by alcohol. You drank too much last night, or you could have like not a lot of sleep, not enough sleep for a couple of days, or just night before. You can have that. The headache can come. So the psychological causes of the headaches and the anxiety, right, together, if they are coming together, right? The first one, and I would say is the most important, the most frequent that I have seen in my clients, is the repressed emotions from trauma, usually from childhood trauma, from neglect, from abuse, a lot from like physical, emotional abuse. When you have this emotional abuse, you don't have anyone to support you. You don't have anyone to understand you, to listen to be heard. So it's just this repressed emotions that you have been keeping for years and years. So sometimes when I ask my clients, when did your headache start? And they say, well, I always had it. I have always had it. I was like, well, how? What does it mean always? All your life? So like 12, 11, right? So, or sometimes even earlier, right? Headaches in that early age can be like an alert, like it has to be like a, alarm system for parents, or to help a child, because headaches shouldn't be in that early age, be present at all in people's life. Lack of connection, so sometimes when we are depressed, sad, we are disconnected, we don't feel like we belong, we can also have headaches, because we are overthinking that. We have these negative thoughts. Any depression, any sadness, any anxiety is the negative thought, right? And that negative thought can be so intrusive that you can have headaches. right? High achievers, right? A perfectionist can have headaches because they are overthinking, they're planning a lot, they are feeling like they're not good enough, so they always overachievers, right? So they need to do it all, right now and to the best of their abilities, and even above their abilities. So they can have headaches because of all of those plans that they have to check mark everything. So the more you plan in your daily planner, and if there is something that you cannot do and you are an overachiever, a achiever, or a perfectionist, you can have a headache because you'll have this guilt that you haven't finished it, you haven't done it, you didn't do enough. So headache can be, and then you can have this anxiety, right? Coming in, rolling on. Inability to cope with the stressful situation. Headaches and anxiety can be caused by inability to make decisions. Sometimes you have to make a decision and you're just torn between the two of them, right? You don't know what to do. You are hesitant, you're indecisive, right? With that, you don't know what to do, and it even aggravates all the symptoms. And then where do you keep it? In your head, right? So then the headache, the tension can become bigger and bigger, right? Sometimes headaches and anxiety can be caused by inability to face reality, right? So you cannot face the reality. You deny the reality. Your husband is abusing you. Your kids are disconnected and they are becoming difficult, and they are like teenagers, for example, and starting to do stuff that is not in their benefit, right? Like smoking, drinking, taking drugs, and you're just denying it all, right? Deep inside they do that, but then you deny it. But all the time you don't want to face the reality. Your husband is cheating or your wife is cheating, right, on you, and you don't want to. You feel it, you know it somewhere deep inside, but you deny it. And the more you deny it, the worse the headaches and the anxiety can become, right? Because you are, awaiting the worst, or you are hoping for the best, but also, avoiding denying that. So please face the reality. Sometimes you need to quit your job because you hate it. And you still like, no, I'm still going to do that. I'm still going to do that. Well, in the end, it's just causing you more stress and more overthinking, right? A big reason for headaches and anxiety, right, will be guilt and shame. So I've had a client who was guilty over the past mistakes, right? So she did an abortion, right? And she was so guilty, and she couldn't face it. She couldn't deal with it. It happened like 25 years ago. But she was still so, so upset about that. Though when she was talking to me before the session, she didn't. She said, oh, I forgot about that. It's okay. I forgave myself. But when you go into hypnosis, right, people start to show their real feelings, their real emotions, right? And that's when she said, no, I can't forgive myself. I still hold on to that mistake. I don't know why I did this. So, that guilt can cause you headache, and headache can cause anxiety because you are worried about your symptoms, right? Also, headaches can be caused when you don't do when someone is making you do what you don't want. For example, if someone is giving you the project at work that you don't want to do, that is probably not in your responsibility, you can be very hesitant, like you don't want to do that, right? But you're made to do that. So that can cause you a big headache because you have an inner conflict. Part of you says, I don't want to do that. I want to say no. And the other side, well, I have to do it because I'm getting paid, right? I need a paycheck. I need to pay for my mortgage, for my insurance, for my loans, So that can cause huge anxiety and headache, right? So in order to understand what comes first, you need to go and look at your past. So did the anxiety cause the headache? Or you started to have headaches, and because of the headaches, you started to be so worried about this symptom that you started to have anxiety, right? So whatever comes first, you need to address that issue first. right? If the headache started first, then let's address the headache. Why? Like what's bothering you? Troubled mind, right? What is bothering you? There are a couple of things that are great to do, right? The first one is I know that cold showers, contrast showers help a lot if you need like a tension massage on your scalp with different tools. Go Google it. There are so many. Another one is going for a walk. It also helps clearing your mind, like clearing your thinking, going for a walk, not listening to anything. When you listen, you already overload your system. Just going for a walk in the nature helps a lot to get more oxygen into your brain. Doing exercise as well can help with headaches. Specific exercises, of course, not like some intense physical activity always helps, right? However, sometimes it's hard to really go to do some physical activity because of the headache. So, and the last one, is work on that symptom, right? So I always recommend people to do therapy, any kind of therapy, starting from traditional therapy, ending up in like, energy healing, whatever can help you. Do it. Find the reason why you have these headaches. What stress, what trauma, what past memory, guilt event, caused you to suppress it, to keep it in your head, to overthink, to catastrophize, to have these maybe health anxiety also can be caused by headaches, right? So do what you need to do, because headaches is not something you need to suffer from the whole life, and sometimes people say, well, I have been with my headache for 30 years. I'm like, why didn't you do anything about it? Well, I did Advil. I went to all of the specialists and they said that I'm okay, everything is good, I just have these headaches. If you have that situation, it means that it's psychological. If your tests are okay, if the doctors cannot tell you anything, right, they are already at loss. This means that it's psychological, that you need to address your psyche, right? And whatever is in your past, just to face the past in order to never face it again in the future. So, I work with headaches, and if you need my help to understand where these headaches are coming from, are they caused by anxiety, or anxiety is caused by headaches, right? I can help you, guide you into the amazing hypnosis session, that can reveal the unresolved. So my contacts are in the description, and I wish you all the best and healthy life. Bye.